But he's dead. He went...
The episode opens on Valmarin Island in Croatia, where several speedboats patrol the shoreline. During a routine security sweep, the team intercepts another vessel and conducts a close inspection of its occupants. The drone scans the entire area and streams the footage directly to the control room. On the far side of the island, Eddie the Jackal monitors the situation from a concealed vantage point. Xena approaches him in anger, informing him that her superiors are displeased. He failed to eliminate the target, and Dog Charles expects to lunch River within 48 hours. Eddie, however, remains unfazed. The scene shifts to Dog Charles taking a morning swim. Later, he sits with his close friend Teddy, entrusting him to take over and launch Project River should anything happen to him. Meanwhile, Bianca conducts her own investigation and discovers that Captain Mike Baldwin survived the IED attack on the U.S. Marines in Afghanistan. She visits the hospital where she meets the bedridden Captain Baldwin and asks him what happened to Alexander Dorgan, the soldier who served under his command in Helmand. Meanwhile, Eddie researches the fastest and most reliable speedboats to use for his next mission. Bianca meets with her superior, Isabel, and informs her that she has found a lead on Dorgan. Isabel, however, explains that the investigation is being shut down due to limited resources. Determined, Bianca asks for more time to finish the case. Meanwhile, Eddie gathers several passports under his various identities before stopping to say goodbye to his infant son ahead of his departure. He then meets Nuria, who is already furious at his lack of honesty. Calling him a liar, she shows him a photo of himself on a wanted list. She forces him to repeat the words, "I kill people for money," over and over. With tears in her eyes, Nuria insists that they need to talk about the truth he has been hiding. Bianca meets with Osita and informs him that Dorgan and the spotter, Gary, were connected. Osita, however, grows irritated and reminds her that the operation has been officially shut down. He refuses to disclose any further security information. That night, Bianca goes home to her husband, Paul, confiding that the investigation is weighing heavily on her. Paul gently reminds her to make time for their family, not only when her work life becomes overwhelming, but always. Back in Spain, Eddie and Nuria finally sit down to talk. He assures her that he is finished with the life of an assassin. He just has one last job to complete before he walks away for good. Nuria's brother Alvaro arrives and tells her he needs to speak with Charles. He's desperate for help after taking out loans from the cartel Jimmy Tejero. Nuria relays the message to Charles, who agrees to intervene. Charles sets a meeting with Alvaro at Hotel Sierra at 1 p.m. Back on Valmarin Island, Dog Charles is informed that the board wants him to postpone the launch of Project River due to the financial losses it is projected to cause. Arrogant and unwavering, Charles refuses to consider any delay. Meanwhile, on Cadiz Beach, the Jackal rents a boat and quietly loads his rifle, preparing for what comes next. Alvaro meets the Jimmy Tejero, the cartel boss, at Hotel Sierra, both men waiting for Eddie's arrival. In the midst of their conversation, Jimmy is suddenly shot. After completing the mission, the Jackal returns home and calmly disassembles his rifle. The night passes in uneasy silence as everyone awaits what the next day will bring. Unable to sleep, Bianca scrolls through the latest news updates and discovers a report on the assassination of a gangster in Spain. The killing was executed with remarkable precision and skill, methods strikingly similar to those used by the Jackal. The Jackal hires another speedboat to transport him to Cadiz Island. Once at sea, he opens his kit and silently eliminates the boat's driver using the Bennett. He then assembles an advanced sniper rifle equipped with a long-range camera, powerful enough to surveil Dog Charles on distant Valmarin Island. As he waits in position, a drone spots the Jackal, but the commander in the control room orders his team to simply keep an eye on the unidentified figure. The next morning, Dog Charles heads out for his routine swim under reinforced security. Sensing his target's movement, the Jackal readies his rifle and prepares to take the shot. But before he can line up the kill, a drone locates him again, prompting a security speedboat to race toward his position for inspection. Realizing he has been detected, the Jackal shoots the approaching guard. The drone immediately alerts the control room, reporting the presence of an armed sniper. A code red is declared, and security rushes to extract Dog Charles from the water. In a desperate attempt to shield him from the sniper's line of fire, His closest guard forcefully submerges Charles, choosing to drown him rather than risk a fatal shot from above. But when the guard resurfaces for air, the Jackal shoots him dead. Dog Charles is left alone in the water. Panicking, he dives deep to avoid the sniper's aim and swims desperately for safety. Yet when he eventually resurfaces for oxygen, the Jackal delivers the fatal shot, completing his long-awaited mission before speeding away across the water. Thanks for watching.